Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Tell Me Yours, a storytelling podcast with me, your host, Trey Everett. Hello and welcome to another episode of Tell Me Yours, a storytelling podcast with me, your host, Trey Everett. I'm so excited for my guest today. She is a dancer, a singer, an actress. She's a phenom. She can be seen on an upcoming tour with TheaterWorks USA in 2022. Madeline Kunkowski is on the pod. She's here with a hilarious and crazy story about a time she spent abroad. Without further ado, please welcome Madeline Kunkowski.
I got to see Hello Dolly with Bernadette Peters. And
I'm just kidding.
oh my god.
So
when
good.
I tell you how like the show opens and like the little trolley comes out with the three women and they're holding the newspapers up, and the two women on the side, like put their newspapers down and did their whatever, and then Bernadette puts hers down and like stands up, and it was just like maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah,
like the whole
she's
show
she's
stopped.
a legend. Like she's a legend.
And she is so tiny.
That's so
she
good.
is so little. Her hair is so big. She's so cute. Her waist is probably like this small. I'm not even kidding. And she was wearing this gorgeous gingham red and white dress with this like belt. And she was everything I had hoped and imagined in person. And then getting to see her, That's think cool. It was actually that same year. I think it was the next semester I saw her in Hello Dolly. I can't remember. The years
She also hasn't aged.
No, she hasn't.
At all. Like, have you watched Tick Tick Boom on Netflix yet?
No, I haven't.
She has like a very, very brief, like she's in it for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, she's gorgeous. Like she looks exactly the same as she looked 30 years ago.
Stunning. The most recent thing I saw her on was the Tony Awards. And I was like, wow, what would I give to look like that woman? Oh my gosh. Just she's so stunning. And she's such a good person too. She's such an icon.
Okay, you are gonna tell me a story today.
I'm gonna tell you a story.
I'm so excited. Obviously I have no idea what it is because we've never
let me
met
tell you.
before.
And I say no one knows this story except for the people that were there when it happened.
Perfect.
It is a story I have not told anyone. I pray to God that my family doesn't listen to this. No, I know, but I wanted to post something and be like, guys, listen to this thing that I did. And
oh my gosh,
they're all gonna see it, but oh gosh, I asked my best friend Lily, who was my roommate at college. We grew up in the same town since we were 8 years old. We did CCD and figure skating and dance classes, and then we were in the same middle school and high school and all of the productions together. Then we didn't go to school together. We just both happened to commit to Rider, and then we were roommates the whole time. And now we're both back in our hometown and doing our gym schedule and just hanging out all the time. And I asked her, I was like, so I'm doing this podcast interview thing and I have to like come up with a story, and I was like, am I just boring, or can I not think of like a good story to tell that's just gonna like sell really well? And she was like, Italy. I was like, yeah, okay, you see, so many of those stories I feel like I can't say out loud. And then I was thinking it over and I was like, it has to be Italy. It has to be. So when we were in our freshman year at Rider, there was a program that came. We had this like arts fair, and there was this lady, and her name is Mariska. So they do this program every single summer where they go to Italy for a month, and you perform in 2 cabarets, like actual cabarets, and then they do 2 musicals. And that year it was Cabaret the Musical and Evita.
Okay.
So we were like, let's audition, because why not? We were like, are we going to really go to Italy for a month? Probably not. But we still auditioned. We sent our tapes in, and my parents were like, there's no way that we can like do this financially, but submit and see what happens. We submitted. We both got accepted. And I will never forget when I was in my dorm room and I was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to make this work. Like me going just financially. And my parents had set aside and had been saving up for a very, very long time for new carpet to be put in our entire upstairs. And they were like, we've been trying to work on the house for years. We're finally getting a start. Like it's just not a good time. And my dad and my mom called me and they were like, we're going to take this money that we had set aside for home renovations and we're going to send you to Italy. And I cried like ugly. There was the crying. I was like, no way. It was my dream come true. So fast forward, we're in Italy. We're living our best life. And we had gotten our schedule. So the last 2 weekends, the second to last weekend was tech. And then the last entire weekend was performances. So we only had the first weekend and the second weekend to travel because we were staying in Mezzano, which is northern Italy. It's like a valley. It's in the mountains. It's gorgeous. They had so many fountains that we literally like put our water bottle. We just walked up to it, put our water bottles under. It was fresh mountain spring water. It was so cool. It was such a culture shock in the best way. So the first weekend we went to Venice and the second weekend we went to Verona. And Verona is where the fun really happened. I'm just like, I'm preparing myself for this story. So, Lily and I were like, how did we make it out alive? How are we still living from Italy? How are we here? So we get to Verona and it is out of like a storybook. It is absolutely gorgeous. You have the Colosseum and the buildings are just colorful and gorgeous and there's shops and cafes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I never want to leave this place. We get to our Airbnb and we decide that like we want to go out that night, but we didn't bring a lot of clothes for like going out. So we went shopping and a lot of the people in the program went shopping. And we found like cute little outfits. I had a cute little wrap top and heels and this skirt that I found that was pink and black with buttons. And I was like, oh, I feel so cute. We get back to the Airbnb and change. And then we're heading out to go to some bars and things like that. And we were like, oh, we all want a picture. So we stopped this young looking guy because we were like, he looks like he knows how to work an iPhone.
Yeah.
He was Italian. He wasn't anyone that was like with us or anything like that. And he wasn't a tourist. So he took our picture and we were like, thank you so much. And we go about our night and we're probably, I think it's like our second or third bar that we're at. And the drinking age is, they don't care at all. You could be 13 years old. So we were truly living it up. I believe Lily and I were 18.
Okay.
Does that check out? Was I 19? I was 18. I was just about to turn 19. So the guy that took our picture, we see him again, where this is much later. And we were like, oh my gosh, hey, you took our picture. And he was like, yeah. Let's just call him A, actually. That would be so much easier. A. His name is A.
Okay.
So we're talking with them and he's with some friends and he was like, yeah, we're all actually professional ballerinas and we dance in the operas at the Colosseum and we tour with them. And we were like, no way. And he definitely was not lying because his Instagram is, he's like a beautiful, beautiful dancer. And they started doing their leaps and their turns like in the middle of this.
They're like, you don't believe us? Watch this.
It was crazy. We were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's so nice to meet you. We're here with Music Academy International studying and training and all of that good stuff.
That's
so we're
cool,
also performers. And they said, let's exchange contact information. And we have to go meet up with some people. But later tonight, we're going to come back and meet up with you guys and we're going to take you out. And we were like, yeah, okay, sure. We're never going to see them again. Sure enough. They message us. I believe it was on Instagram because I don't think we could text or anything. We had to use like Facebook Messenger or something like that. And they were like, hey, where are you guys? And we're like, we're still at the same place that we were, just in that little square. Like bar square. I don't know. It was outside and there were lots of bars all around and it was cool. That's what it was.
Perfect.
So they were like, we know a really cool club, but it's a little bit of a walk. These random ass Italian men that we had just met. And we were like, that sounds like a great idea. And like, it's totally safe. So we walk 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
We have no idea where we're walking. We are so far away from our Airbnb, and we're like, well, we're screwed if like they try to murder us or something. And we did this to ourselves. But we were like, safety in numbers. There's 4 of us and like 2 of them. We're fine.
Oh my God.
So we end up getting there and we walk in the door, and there's these people that are sitting at a table, and it's like a fraternity, and you have to pledge. You have to join this fraternity in order to go down to this club.
Oh
and we were all like, what? So we literally, so dumb of us, put our first names, our last names, our phone numbers.
Oh my God.
We paid €5. It was €5 to pledge this fraternity. We pay €5 and we get, I wish I had mine. Lily still has hers. We got our official fraternity cards.
Oh
I can't remember what the
gosh.
name of the fraternity was. We called it Pizza Pie Chi.
Oh God.
Because what else are you going to call it for an Italian frat, right? So that's what it's known to us as.
Pizza Pie Kai. Oh my God.
Oh God. So we all join this fraternity and we go downstairs. It is a full-blown underground castle. It is insane. I truly wish I had pictures to describe what it looked like. It was all like cobblestone and huge arches and pillars.
Oh my gosh.
And we were like, what is this? So the 4 of us, we immediately go into the bathroom and we're in like a huddle and we say, okay, guys, we are not accepting anything from them. And we are not going home with any of them. And we're going to stay together. And that's going to be that. We walk out of the bathroom. They have shots of mint vodka. And we all look at each other and we go, YOLO. Down the hatch. We were so stupid. Oh God.
You did so good. You set the boundaries. You set the rules. And then you immediately forgot them. Oh man.
So we're dancing. We're having a good time. We go into this other section, which is like really like a club. There's cool lights and a DJ. And Lily starts dancing with one of the guys. And then I start dancing with A. And then like dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, okay, so that's where this is going. So we end up leaving and going outside in the bushes. Oh God, I just can't believe I've done. So things start happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then my phone starts ringing or like going off. And it's Lily. And she's like, where did you go? Like full panic. And I was like, I'm in the bushes with A. She was like, you need to come back because I don't want you out here. And I was like, that's really fair. That's really fair. So we head back in and, you know, they're doing their thing. And then we were doing our thing. And then Emily and Izzy were just like, what the hell is going on here? They were like, what is happening? So it gets really, really late and we're tired. We want to go home. I'm walking home barefoot because my feet are just demolished from those freaking heels. They weren't even that high. They were just strappy and annoying. So they walk us back to our Airbnb and Becca and Emma were already in there asleep in the main bedroom. And then Emily and Izzy were staying in the living room and Lily and I had 2 twin beds in one room. So the guys end up walking us up because they were like, we want to see your Airbnb. And we were like, yeah, sure. Lily and the one guy like get like just onto her bed. And I was like, okay, I see what's happening. I don't want to be in this room to sleep, obviously.
Yeah, fair.
And A was like, you can come back to my place. And I said, yeah, that's a really great idea. So all my friends were like, yeah, do it. Like, remember previously we were like,
yeah,
we're going home with them. We're not taking drinks from them. So we end up walking to his apartment and we get in. It's very cute. And the first thing he does is he offers me a biscuit.
Ooh.
And I was like, a biscuit? He meant a biscuit.
Yeah.
And I say that in a very endearing way. I thought it was very sweet. I'm not making fun of him. I thought it was very cute. And so I was like, okay. So we're eating some biscuits, and then we move into his room and engage in some cardio. Was it the best cardio I've ever had? No, but it was the experience that counts, right? So after that's done, he gets up completely naked and just puts on red Crocs and just starts walking about the apartment. And I was like, this is not happening right now. And I told my friends this when I was telling the story to them. They were like, he just walked around like butt ass naked, but with red Crocs on. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what was going on. And then he offered me a shower, and I was like, both of us together, okay? It could be cute. No, he just meant like me take a shower by myself. And I was like, you know what? That's like kind of sweet though, right?
Absolutely,
like no man has ever offered me a shower after
that's so
cardio
good.
like that. After a little bit of exercise, I might be like sweaty and gross and might want a shower. I was like,
is so funny.
It's so nice of him.
It's honestly like, that's kind of like a great host move.
Right?
Like, did you want to take a shower?
Right.
You take a shower, yeah.
So he like taught me how the shower worked, because it was totally not how I was like different. Obviously.
Still just rocking the red Crocs.
Still just rocking the
Perfect.
red Crocs.
Perfect. Brilliant.
So I am like, okay, it is maybe, I want to say 4:30 or 5 at this point.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, sleep time. So I like come back into his room, and I have like a towel wrapped around my body, and he was like, okay, so you need to leave. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, what? He said, my roommate's gonna be back soon, and you can't be here when he gets back. And I was like, okay, cool. So I don't have a key to the Airbnb, so let's see how this works.
No.
I put my clothes back on. And by the time we get out, because he was like, I'll walk you back. And I was like, no, you're going to, because I'm walking back by myself. The sun, it is rising. The sun is rising. People are waking up and starting their days. People are jogging. God. People are opening shops. And here I am, like in clubbing clothes, walking barefoot with this man.
Oh my God. I would give anything if he was still just rocking the red Crocs. That would be the icing on the cake. Oh my God.
Thank God he wasn't. So we get back to the Airbnb, and I'm just praying. I'm like, please let this door be open. It's not. Why would it be? And it's a door to like the building, because it was like obviously like an apartment. So the door was indeed locked, and I was like, fuck. So now here I am sitting on the curb with a sun fully risen and awake. People are out starting their daily routines, and I'm just sitting there like with my head in my hands, like, why did I do this? And I'm texting and calling like I had never texted and called before. I was like, please, somebody wake up, somebody answer their phone. I was like, all of them must be on mute. And what am I going to do? It's like now 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I have no way of getting into this Airbnb. So eventually, I don't know what happened. The universe just really worked in my favor. I think it was Emily or Izzy that ended up waking up and seeing like 50 messages from me. I was like, what is going on? So she sent Lily down to open the door, and I come back up, and I say goodbye to A, and I was like, thank you for a night, because that was something, wasn't it? I get up to our room, and Lily's guy is still there, and I was like, I don't even care. I lay down and I go to sleep, and then at 8 a.m. we were right next to a bell tower.
Oh God.
Those bells vibrated the Airbnb. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. there's no way I'm going back to sleep. I'm like pissed off, not at anyone, just because I'm tired. I haven't slept, and I wasn't mad at them. I was like, you know, honestly, maybe I was like, wait, so I totally just left with a random dude and you didn't have your phone sounds on, like you didn't have your ringers on, but I guess, you know, it's fine.
That's so good. I think that's like a justified, be like, shame on you guys.
So maybe I am a little upset about that, but honestly not really, because it all worked out and it's a very iconic story. So I'm just like, I'm retelling them this story and they were like, this is insane. This is like from a movie. And thank God you're okay.
Yeah, totally.
That is the craziest thing I've ever done. So we packed up our stuff and got coffee and breakfast. And then we headed back to Mezzano and had like rehearsal the next day. I like went to bed immediately. I was like, I am so tired. And yeah, that was my very iconic story of my time in Verona with my friends.
I love it. That's such a wonderful night. Like, what a great night.
It's like, I learned so much, and you do dumb things when you're young. Would I do it again? Depends on the circumstances, honestly. I might. It makes for a really good story.
I love that.
A really good story. And now, and like I said, no one knew the story except for the people that were there.
That is so
And to this day, they still bring it up, and they still bring up specifically the Red Crocs. The Red Crocs were the hit of the story. They were the hit of the story.
That is like a pretty key detail. That's so good. I love that he offered you sustenance immediately. Like, you've got to be famished from this wild night of dancing. You've got to be hungry. Here's some food. I love that he offered you a shower. He was like, do you want to take a shower? Because you've been dancing all night. Like, now you just danced a little bit more in other ways, which is great. Yeah, do you want a shower? I love that he walked you back both times. He always walked with you, so you could feel safe. I'm assuming he stayed with you on the porch until you got inside.
He did.
Which, again, kind move. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
This is an outstanding guy.
And you know what? I was like, he's Italian, and that just makes it so much better.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Italian. So he had an accent and everything. It was very cute. We still follow each other on social media all these years later, and we still like each other's stuff. And we're like, hey.
That's so good. Like,
but oh my gosh, yeah, I never imagined. Verona was definitely one for the books. It was definitely, and now we're all like, I've been talking with Lily and I was like, we got to get the girls back together and we have to go back to Italy.
I think you have to. Yeah, I think you have to. That.
There are so many good stories from that trip, which is why Lily and I always say, how are we alive?
It's so good.
How did we make it out of Italy? How did we do that? I don't know.
So great. That's so great.
And just
I love that too, because like I have tons of moments like that as well, where it's like, this is a situation I never thought I would ever be in, but now that I'm here, I feel like my only option is to say yes. Like, I have to say yes. Like, when will this ever happen again? This shouldn't be happening right now. Like, I'm not in real danger right now, so like, let's just say yes. Right. Also, it's different for me. I'm like a 6'3" straight white male. Like, so it's a little different where I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah.
Very small woman. But at the time also, I had bleach blonde hair.
Okay.
Everyone knew I was American.
Yeah.
Lily still has bleach blonde hair. But so we very much stood out and stuck out, and they are so right about Italian men loving blondes. They really are.
Is so
they are so obsessed with people with blonde hair because they're just not used to it. And then another night that we were there, our rides ditched us and we walked an hour home in the rain. I know.
Oh my God.
That wasn't so nice. It was a total different group. We were back in Mezzano now and ditched us because I had confronted one of them. and they got really mad and left us there. We had to walk an hour back. I was wearing wedges and a one piece. I had to pee so bad. I was like, guys, I'm not making it. So we go into someone's yard and I just take the whole thing off. I have to. And then we hear these like, and we like, and there's like chickens like running behind us. It's like pitch black, and we were like, "Oh my god!" And it was raining, and then we got up and performed the next day.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
that wasn't so fun. We look back on that now, and we were like, "That's hysterical! Oh my gosh!" But in the moment, that was
this is actually kind of scary. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not a fun time. We were with a good group of people. There were 4 or 5 of us though, so we were like, okay,
yeah,
we're fine. But yeah, just super crazy time.
I love every bit of that. I'm so happy for you that is an experience that you had, and you get to hold on to it forever. I think that's amazing.
Oh my god, I get to tell my kids one day.
Oh my, you're definitely not going to tell your kids that story. Like,
no, I
until they're not kids.
Will. I'm gonna be like, all right, sit down, babes, because your mom is a
Mom,
legend.
can we go study abroad in Italy for a month? And you're like, listen.
I'm like, I'm a pro, and your mom's a legend. So let me teach you a thing or two.
Some say they still talk about those 2 blondes in Verona. Yeah.
No, really. And like in the little town we were staying in Mezzano, it was like the 2 blondes. They knew us as the 2. That's how we were known at college, because we were always together. People called us like the Slytherin sisters.
Oh my god.
Because of like, I don't know, Draco Malfoy, I guess, and just being blonde. So yeah, we were always known for being the 2 blondes, always.
That is so
together.
Funny. Thank you for telling me that story.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
What a wonderful story to share. I love it. Awesome. Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much. This was really lovely chatting with you. Your story is insane, and I'm into it. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was just really great. Thanks for making the time and hanging out.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
I love it. Awesome. Well, hey, have a great rest of your Black Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will look forward to hearing about what you booked.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much. I can't wait to share.
Yeah. See you, girl.
Bye.
Thank you so much to Madeline for telling us that awesome story. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Tell Me Yours. If you want to follow Madeline online on Instagram, she is just at Madeline_Andrea_. I'll leave it in the show notes. Be sure to check her out in 2022 on tour with TheaterWorks USA. Thank you so much again to Madeline. If you want to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, we are just at Tell Me Yours Pod. If you want some extra time with Madeline, hop over to patreon.com/tellmeyours. We have a lot of extra time together. It's super fun. She was so lovely. It was great to chat. Thank you again so much for listening. And until next time, be kind to each other, and we'll talk soon.